The opinions expressed in this show belong to the person expressing them. They do not purport to reflect the opinions or views of Rancher or any other entity.
What the heck was that? What? Well, hi. Good morning, everybody. I can't actually do a Jeff Goldblum impersonation. I'm actually really bad at impersonations. I was gonna try. I was actually like watching interviews with him today. That dude is straight up crazy. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Coffee and Cloud Native, the show that shares news and interesting content related to Kubernetes, Cloud Native, and other nifty technology. My name is Adrian Goins. And actually, no, I'm sorry. My name is Jeff Goldblum, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today. If you're watching live, consider following or subscribing to the channel, and if you're watching a replay, give the video a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm shares it with other people. Join the free community site, join the Discord server, join all of the other resources that are available in the video description or scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Live chat happens in Discord with a bot that relays between YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, so just, come hang out with us either during the show or after. And as you'll see in a minute, live chat is where the Jeff Goldblum meme happens. Let's take a moment and say hello to people today. Oh my gosh, all of you. Good morning, Duck. Good morning, Nuno. Zeke Gubbs, Ian, Restreambot from, hey, Beer Native. Hello, Steve. Captain Justin. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Vito. Wifebot. Hello. Oh my gosh, they still had Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum. Hey, Frank Chrysalis. Peter Keach. Don't know if I said hello to you already. All right, so all of you who are watching either in Discord or, well, I guess you're not watching in Discord, but whatever. Hello, everybody, chatting. Nice to see you. Shall we get started? The hot seats. Ellibot's going to run a 5-minute giveaway in the live chat channel on Discord. I will call that winner over Discord and bring them on the show to do the A/B test with me right here, right now, today. It's called the hot seat because if you win, you have no idea what Trufflebot is going to show us. I have very little idea what Trufflebot is going to show us. So I'll present the content to you and everyone else, and then we'll just spend a few seconds talking about it before we move on to the next item. And don't freak out if you don't have anything to say. Like, you don't have to know anything about anything. It's just, hello, come on the show, talk to people, hang out. It's like, it's supposed to be nice and friendly. But if you don't want to participate, that's cool too. I get to take the headphone out of my ear. So let's kick that off in channel. Booyah. If you want to join, click the little to-da icon. And while we're waiting for that to happen, let's move on. The collector bots have gathered candidates for the show. Trufflebot has scored them from 1 to 5 copies, corresponding to a 75 to 100% probability of being something slightly more interesting than garbage. Twitter, for the last week and a half, has been sending me garbage. So I've been dealing with the other stuff from the other collector bots, and yeah, anyway. Some of the stuff I have for today, though, is actually really cool. Trufflebot's going to post them one at a time in Discord. I'll load them up. Anyone watching live can rate them in the live voting channel. And if I didn't just totally break Trufflebot with the last-minute change that I made right before the show, you'll also see those in a more friendly fashion in the live chat channel and then on YouTube and Twitch. Or Trufflebot will just totally crash. Boy, won't that be fun. Anyway, all items shown on the show are used to rate the show itself, and then the votes are used to train the machine learning model that chooses content for the show. So let's see. Let's see if Adrian broke it. It was one of those things where it's like you don't make changes on Friday. Let's see, how did I do? Hey, okay. That looks not so bad. Oh my gosh. It's another 2021 post. Say it isn't so. I don't like these. But I like Spider-Man. That's not why I put it on the show. This is about service mesh. Lots of you hear me talk about service mesh, mostly that I really want to use it, but I'm really not going to because I really have totally no use for using it. And I found this article interesting because it had some statistics. Where are the statistics? Oh, maybe it wasn't here that the statistics were. Maybe it was somewhere else. There's so many articles about service mesh coming out. Okay, so there was another article about service mesh that talked about how, like, there's been a 50% increase in businesses who say that they've deployed service mesh over the last year in 2020. It went from 18% to 27%. But then all of these businesses are saying that they're looking at it, they're going to deploy it. And I think that a large swath of those are just in the, ooh, shiny phase of things where they probably don't need a service mesh. Something just beeped in my ear. Ian wants to know, how's my mom doing with her service mesh deployment? It's really hard to make a service mesh with knitting needles, but she's working on it. She's working on it really hard. So this article actually addressed that. First of all, they're like, oh, here's what a service mesh is. Here's why it's cool, blah, 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 blah. We all know about that. But when do you choose a service mesh? Well, it comes at a cost. It can double the number of containers. So that's additional compute cost. It's additional infrastructure management cost. It's the TLS encryption has an overhead as well. In general, we choose a service mesh tool when the cluster is multi-tenant or running untrusted or sensitive workloads. And then, yeah, probably MTLS is good. Or you need capabilities offered by the tools like end-to-end encryption or observability or something like that. But if you're like me, only running first-party workloads, my cluster is my cluster for me. And so I don't really need all of the fancy shiny stuff other than the fact that it's fancy and shiny and it's cool. If you want to deploy a service mesh so you can learn how to use it and up-level your game so that you're more marketable for getting a new job, totally cool. Just understand that the baggage that comes with it. It's just because it's beautiful on the outside doesn't mean it's, well, never, we're not going to go there. Anyway, so I'm still not going to run a service mesh despite, I really want to. But then the article goes on to talk about the different service meshes that are out there, what their strengths and weaknesses are when you might choose one over the other. I can't type today. Pow. How we doing on that, contest? Oh, we got 13 seconds left. Wow, okay. Then I'm just going to wait. 30 seconds. Actually, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to keep talking, and then I'll bring whoever on afterwards, because otherwise we're all just going to sit here and wait. We have a winner. We've got a winner. Is Ellie going to tell me? NDB. All right, let's see if we can make this work. NDB, I'm going to call you on Discord. And maybe we'll be able to hear each other. Maybe. I'm waiting for NDB to say that NDB is ready. I don't actually know who NDB is. NDB is ready. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure that we've got the thingy unmuted so that this all nonsense works. We're going to try and get this done in the future where WifeBot actually calls people and then does all of this preliminary stuff and then just brings me into the call. But we're not there today, so sorry. Guest audio is muted. Make sure my button works. My button works, but it doesn't show up on my Stream Deck. Okay, calling NDB. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, there's like a 10-second lag there. Okay. Okay. I am going to unmute you so the rest of the world will be able to hear you as well. You are now unmuted. Hello, what is your name?
Hello, my name is Amin.
Emil? Wow, that's a huge lag.
Amin, yeah.
Amin,
It's a huge lag.
Amin. Okay, where are you located?
I'm in New York right now.
You're in New York.
Yeah.
That's cool. The lag is really weird. It's like sometimes the lag is there and then sometimes it's not. We're just going to make the best of it. Okay, so why don't you take a moment and introduce yourself to everybody. Who you are, maybe where, obviously we know you're in New York, what you do, and if there's anybody you want to say hi to, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, sure. I've just joined the channel, just discovered your channel some times ago. So I work with the platform and development on cloud native technologies. I'm from Brazil and I'm here for like 2 years. I'm enjoying a lot your channel. Very cool material and very good information going on. Nice community.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being a part of the community. What part of New York are you in right now?
Right now I'm on Astoria, Queens.
Astoria. I moved to Chile from New York. Wife bot's from the Bronx, and I lived in Brooklyn. I also lived on Roosevelt Island for a while. I lived in Manhattan. I lived in New York for 13 years. So, represent. Wow, that's some
cool.
lag. Okay. All right.
That's crazy.
Let's get back to it. So we're just gonna have to work with the lag. I know you're also watching. It's funny, the lag to talk to you is almost probably the same as the lag for watching it on the screen. So we'll do the best that we can. And obviously, if you're in Discord, so you can click on the links when they appear. So the next item that we have is, and the next item's interesting. I don't always talk about Kubernetes and cloud native and stuff like that. I'm also interested in networking technology and IoT and long range communication because where I live, we don't have a lot of that. So the next article, which everybody else has probably already clicked on and some have voted on, is about OpenRAN, which the premise here, this article's a little complicated, is that 5G will not only bring in just an amazing amount of bandwidth for all devices, mobile devices and IoT devices and everything to be able to communicate with one another, but that it will also open the door for private 5G networks for companies. And that the hardware is moving to this open, like SDN style software defined communication platform that moves it out of vendor lock-in universes. Now, for me, that's super interesting because of the communication aspect of it. But I know that 5G is kind of a hot topic, and people have, they like it or they don't like it. So, what are your thoughts on 5G and having an open communication standard?
Yeah, this is the evolution of the technology. Like, we cannot stop it.
Do you do anything with networking?
No, not really. Not
Okay.
wireless networking.
I like the idea that I can be here and somebody can be over there and there can be nothing in between us and we can still talk. I'm a general class ham radio operator as well, and I've had radio communications with people, from Chile to the United States to Antarctica to Asia to Europe. That kind of stuff is just, it's like magic when it works, and it's terrible when it doesn't. Okay. Well, let's move to the next item then. Hey, okay, Nuno, this one's for you. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so there's been some talk about WSL2 and questions about if it's actually corrupting Git repositories, ZSH environments, bash environments, basically file system level corruption from just doing normal stuff with WSL2. Do you do any work with Windows, or do you do anything with WSL2?
No, I'm out of Windows.
What do you work with?
I'm working mostly with AWS and Kubernetes stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I don't use Windows either. Nuno is a huge WSL2 fan, and I know lots of people who do use Windows are just going crazy about what you can do with WSL2. Well, for those of you who do stuff with WSL2, be aware that there are questions about if it's doing bad stuff. If we scroll down to the bottom, the comments are actually most recently from a few days ago, and some people are saying I don't have problems with it. Other people are saying that they do. Some people are saying switch to using Ubuntu, and people are saying go light yourself on fire. But there seems to be, where is this? Somebody said it was a dupe of another issue. I'm not going to find it quickly. So, there it is, dupe of Microsoft, whatever. And it appears to be related to how people are shutting down the WSL2 environment, that the shutdown process is actually broken, and that even though you think that you've shut down properly, you've actually just ripped the power cord out of the back of your computer, and you have file system corruption. So buyer beware. All right, we'll get a Kubernetes question up here for you. Okay, backups. Do you work with backups at all? That lag is frustrating. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, we do backups for sure.
Okay. What do you like to use for backing up your Kubernetes environments? That's actually a question I just posted in the community site today.
We are not backing up the Kubernetes, mostly RDS instances and things like that.
Okay. Do you use AWS snapshots?
Yeah.
How do you manage cost with that? Because I know that snapshots and snapshot retention is often the largest source of bleeding money in a cloud environment.
Yeah, we keep low retention on it.
Okay. There's a backup solution called Bupstash, which I had not heard of before, that the creator of Bupstash did a shootout between Bupstash, Restic, and Borg. Now, I use Borg through a thing called Borgmatic, which is just like a wrapper around Borg, but the core technology is still Borg. These aren't necessarily cloud-native Kubernetes backup solutions, but some of us still run infrastructure that's not inside of Kubernetes. So I won't spend a lot of time on this so that we can continue moving on to things that are relevant. But if you're interested in a comparison between Bupstash, Restic, Borg, and actually tar piped to gzip, piped to GPG, he's got some really good metrics in here. I lost my channel. Where did... okay. Let's see what we've got next. All right, so in your work with Kubernetes, are you often creating container images, like from scratch?
Yeah, we have like some boilerplates already done.
Okay.
But yeah, normally.
Do you ever find yourself wondering about like the best way to build a Docker file for non-root container operations, or using a init system like Tiny? Do you have that in your boilerplate?
Yeah, we look this. This looks a good article.
Okay. I found this the other day because I was building out all of the images for the bots that are now hosted in my Kubernetes cluster and not running locally in a debug environment on my computer. And it's not perfect, but basically it's just a stock Docker file that has their, like whoever wrote this, Hexops, has their recommended best practice, which, you know, modify it to suit your environment. The main thing is, you know, how to add a non-root user, how to use a init system that understands signaling so that your containers do a timely shutdown, and then using an entry point instead of using everything inside of commands. It's a really good place to start. And like I say frequently, the easier it is to do something, the more likely it is that we are to do it. If every time I have to sit down, like I don't build container images all that often, but every time if I sit down, I'm like, how do I make this thing not run as whatever? It's easier just to be like, let's just go and launch the thing. What kind of strategies do you use in your environment related to, like, do you run all of your workloads as non-root, or do you find that it's not really possible to do that as, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we are keeping this as non-root and try to enforce some security context on it. We do multi-stage builds to avoid this multiple, decrease the size of the image and things like that.
Okay.
Some slightly good practice.
Yeah, I think it's a really good starting place, and I felt it was worthy to put on the show. Next, okay, do you do anything with serverless?
Only Lambda.
Okay, well that counts. I mean, Lambda is kind of like that's the serverless solution. Have you encountered serverless workflow?
No, we are using what's the name? Zappa.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's a tool to manage serverless environments with cloud formation, things like that.
Oh, okay. Do you like it?
Too verbose, but it's fine. There's
Okay.
no much alternatives for now.
Okay. Well, serverless workflow is a specification. It's built into some things. It's a CNCF sandbox project. It's actually built off of cloud events. So we're going to go down a rabbit hole here. Cloud events is a specification for describing event data in a common way. Since I've just been converting everything to serverless, this is relevant to me. That writing event processing stuff without a standard, it just deviates. Having a standard for event delivery, event specification, and then event processing makes workloads more portable. And somebody's taken that and moved it back over into a spec for serverless. The idea being that you can define stuff in a standard way. My ability to explain it kind of stops there. What are your feelings about having a global standard for serverless operations?
You create another standard.
But is it, as you're building out your serverless functions in Lambda, do you find yourself like recreating the wheel often, or not?
Yes, we tried a lot of things like shell scripts, Terraform. It's good to have a standard, but it's hard to beat the standard.
When I was reading this article, I found my head hurting because the thing that I struggle with is trying to get things out there and balancing that against having to learn something new. So it's like, do I take the time to learn this and implement it and then standardize on it, or is that just more work for less return? I'm probably not going to roll out the serverless workflow in any of the serverless stuff that I do for the show. Cloud events, I think, is actually probably has a better place in the world. But it's still nice to see. In fact, cloud events, as you see here on the screen, is already integrated into lots of other things, including OpenFast, which is what I'm doing for all of the serverless stuff. So you can trigger OpenFast functions based on cloud events, although it's only bound to Azure, which makes it less useful for me. All right, let's see if we can do one more before we let you go. Oops, I didn't vote on that. do you use service mesh in your environment, specifically Istio?
We are researching to implement this, but not actually.
Okay. Kiali is a wonderful tool for visualization of what's going on inside of an Istio environment. Have you seen this before?
Nope.
So if you are looking at Istio, also I recommend that you look at Kiali. It's free. It's from Red Hat. It's like a web interface into what's going on inside of the environment. And they had a bunch of new stuff that came out in their last series of releases, which I'll just run through some of the highlights pretty quickly. First of all, 1.28 now supports multiple architectures, although that's being maintained by a community member, so it's not actually part of the test suite, but it's out there. An unsynced sidecar will now trigger a degraded health status to make it clear that some stuff's gone sideways and you probably need to take a look at it. You can show and hide portions of your of the whole graph of everything and all of the communication channels between it, which makes it easier to focus on the things that you actually care about. It will show you the principles that are being used for authentication and authorization in the workloads that you're watching, so it makes it easier for you to define security parameters around those workloads and those communication channels, because it's telling you who's talking across them. That's super cool. Do I have anything else highlighted? Let's see. Traffic Shifting Wizard got some new functionality for TCP, and whatever, some more information stuff. So yeah, so Kiali up through 1.28 has a whole mess of really interesting and useful things. Okay, that is all for the A/B test. Before I let you go, anything you would like to say to the world, to the internet, in parting?
Yeah, thanks for having me here, dude. That was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah,
Nice show.
You are very welcome. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody, big round of applause. And actually, before you go, I'm really sorry. In the beginning with the lag, I still didn't catch if your name was Emil or Amin.
It's Amin.
Amin. Okay, good. I'm glad I asked. Everybody, round of applause for Amin. Amin, thank you for joining us. Say hi to New York for me, and I look forward to seeing you in the community. Take care.
Thanks, yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the... Oh my gosh, there's only a minute left. I didn't vote on that. It's like I don't even know how to run my own show. Oh wow, that's a command that doesn't even exist. AB done. How fast do you think we can do tool of the day? I think we can do it pretty fast. We get a lot of stuff on the show. Oh, I didn't... Hang up, wait. That was for Nuno. We get a lot of the show from Alexi. We get a lot of stuff on the show from Alexi LED. And we've had some stuff from Do It. I'm guessing this is Do It International. I'm not really sure. This seemed really familiar to me, but I went and I looked through all of the show notes, and I'm pretty sure I haven't already had this on the show. If I have, well, I apologize. But, anyway. As the show has evolved, I have show notes now in 3 different places. So I have to consolidate that and build a search engine for it. Shipwreck. Help. Kube Secrets Init is actually part of their Secrets Init tool that is a PID1 init process for your container that does signaling and stuff, but also has functionality baked into it to pull secrets from AWS Secrets Manager, Secrets Manager Parameter Store, or Google Secret Manager. And so Secrets Init by itself is great, but then Kube Secrets Init is a mutating admission webhook that, based on annotations and other Kubernetes blah, 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 will insert an init container into your workloads that actually runs secrets init, and then, based on environment variables, will extract secrets from the various external sources and load them into your workload, into your volume as environment variables. it's targeting a very specific use case that clearly they need, but they've solved it in a really flexible and elegant fashion. So if you find yourself in a place where you need an init process that's secrets aware, there you go. Who voted that a 1? Wow. Huh. I bet that person uses Swarm. Wow, that's great. I thought that would do better. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Amin for participating in the hot seat. Links to everything that I talk about go up in the community site at community.cncn.io after the show ends. Come join us. Community members get early access to the links, video replay, and other exclusive content. It's free to join. People are joining every day. If you have something you'd like me to consider for the show, post it in the community site, post it in the show suggestions channel on Discord, ping me on Discord, ping me on Twitter. Just make sure that I respond so that you know that I actually saw it. Otherwise, yeah, we gotta run. Thanks so much for watching. Keep learning, everybody. Stay caffeinative. And I will see you in the next show.